Hey guys, Wolfie here and welcome back to the channel. As always, the usual disclaimer, any opinion here is mine and mine alone. And I am back with Reddit stories. I thought I was done with this after that last one. And I'm going to be doing two stories here. So, one of them you're seeing here right now. And the other one I will get to a little bit later. So, and the only thing I feel these two have in common is that I don't think these two stories are as concluded as some people think they are. And I do want to give some warnings, some stuff here and there. And for this first story, it's called infidelity, favoritism, that sort of thing. You'll get the gist. So this right here is this. I found this on the best of Reddit updates, BORU. However, the username has been changed, so. And I do agree with this particular comment. It says it feels slightly inconclusive. I agree with it. It is inconclusive for reasons. So I'm just going to do a TLDR of these two posts, and we're going to go into a second update, which was, I believe, yesterday. So the story here is I found out my sister slept with my fiance, and I'm not sorry about what I did after. So, basically, OP here is a 30-year-old female, had, key word there, you'll see why in a bit, had a good relationship with her older sister. There's an age gap between OP and the older sister by a year. And, it says, so I'm going to just read this very first part word for word. 30-year-old woman here, I have a sister who's just a year older than me. We've always had such a good relationship, so finding about this one hurt. She might as well just stab me in my heart. On top of that, I've been with my fiance since high school. We've always been with each other through thick and thin. We were going to get married in a few months. Now, before I go further, they do mention here that Reddit deleted the original post and that first update, so just a bit of disclaimer on that as well. And I think I figured out why. I was looking at the comments, and it turns out, talking about repeated uses of real names and the time gap between the postings. So I think those were the rules that caused the person to get their account suspended. So anywho, so basically this is pretty much the synopsis. Now the older sister, slept with the now ex-fiance. Went to their mother. The sister begged the mother not to say a word to OP about this. OP found out about this whole mess up from their father. And what it meant, so basically it's like, so basically what OP did is like, she threw out his stuff, and she also broke up with him almost immediately, that sort of thing. So you see some stuff here and there. So it's a bit additional information on the siblings. So the sister recently lost their dog, and the garden was in honor of the pooch, and by pooch, the doggy. So the siblings' excuse was it just happened, which I call bullshit on. Yeah, there's more to this, I think. And then you see some of the stuff here that OP was like mentioning to the ex and all that stuff. And then, like I said, I'm not saying their names because it's like, it's not even worth it. It's not worth my breath. So, so pretty much here, this is like the 3 edits before like the initial batch of comments. Again, I don't know where they are because the user's account got suspended. So it says here, first edit, she was upset, and then she thought the dad was joking. Turns out that dad wasn't joking. So, and then second edit, OP is expressing gratitude for the suggestions because it was giving OP more confidence to deal with the matter. And then this is the third edit. So it says, when I say I decided to hurt her, it's because I kind of ruined something so meaningful to her. I feel like for most people besides out here, that would be a bit far. That's just how I feel, though. I understand it's not what you guys wanted, Lowell. Clearly it worked a bit, though, since she thought I was so damn psychotic for that. Like I said, I don't feel sorry about hurting her that way. So, again, she damaged a garden that was in honor of the sister's deceased dog. Now, for the remainder parts of this story, I'm going to be referring to the sister as a sister, X as X, because, again, their names are not worth me mentioning. Mom is going to be egg donor. Dad is sperm donor. You will see why later on. So, and then the comment section is like, everybody's like, F the sister, F the ex, F the mom. Now, this is the first update, and then here's the editors. Told you I changed the title. So that sort of thing. So looks like OP mentions that the initial post got deleted, comments found support, all that stuff. So OP was like, okay, she temporarily unblocked sister and X like to tag them in the story. X blocks OP after all this is done. And this is where, and OP sends his sister the Reddit post. Now, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. Now, the ex's mom reaches out to OP. Now, in this particular paragraph, it says, at the time she didn't see, but I got a call from my ex's mom. She was furious about everything, but she asked me how I was holding up and if I've heard the news, which means a little bit of a twist here. My heart sank a little because I honestly couldn't bear to hear any more bad news. I asked her what she was talking about. She said, so you haven't? I said no and asked her to tell me. My sister's pregnant. Apparently he told her in an attempt to make her chill out on my sister. I didn't want to hear any more, so I told her I needed to hang up the phone. And it was just like, and OP was crying again, and for a very good reason. And then sister sighs like, okay, why are you talking about me on social media? And then it's like this particular line, it's like, it's got me thinking, I'm becoming more OP, so more team OP, I should say. Says, I got even angry and when she said, I'm coming over and I'm telling Mom that you're spreading my business online. All right, you big baby. Still never responded, though. I felt frozen. So it's like, So I think I'm going to reveal my thoughts on this part and the second update once I get done with that second update. So this is where things get a little bit more interesting, and it's like, yeah. So the sister tries to break down the door, and there's a really heated screaming match. So like sister saying, I don't deserve the online hate, and I've always been there for you through everything, and would have forgiven you if it was the other way around. I'm like, yeah. I kind of don't buy that. I don't buy that from the sister at all. And then here says, this is where OP mentions that they actually punch her after that particular part of the screaming match. And then the sister retaliated by telling OP, it's not my fault he was tired of you. And then this part right here. The sister was keep on telling OP that OP's punishing the sister over a mistake, and I'm like, which I'm thinking, yeah, hypocrisy much. And then OP's response to the punishing over a mistake is that you have no idea what you've put me through, and I know you would have done the same thing if you weren't affected. Meaning that she's calling out the bullshit. And sister keeps crying and insulting because, and I'm going to try to be all dramatic about this when I go into the sister. Oh, I never thought I was supporting you through everything I had enough to hurt her. And now strangers bash her on the internet. Wah, wah, wah. I told her she deserved it. I don't want her talking to me ever again. And if she comes near me, I'm calling the police. I'm kind of saying that from the OP's point of view. And then OP tells sister to tell the egg donor that she's not talking to her again either. Sister asked if she was really going to cut her off like that, and OP wishes the sister good luck with the unwanted child and told her to go home. It was the last time the sister walked off the porch. OP had to clean up her vase because sister destroyed it, and you see here, at least they're out of my life. However, it's weird how sad I feel now. It's for my own good, but damn, I'll never experience the bond we had again. On the bright side, it seems like I've dodged 2 bullets. The 2 bullets being egg donor, possibly ex, definitely the sister. And then she mentions here that OP probably does need some therapy. Now this is where I refer to Dad being the sperm donor. This particular edit. Last edit say my dad called not too long ago asking me to take every post down because according to the egg donor, the B sister is bawling her eyes out over mean people on the internet. As if I'm taking anything down. Sperm donor is angry about the pregnancy, but you're talking about the egg donor defending the golden child's sister by saying that sort of thing. It's just like, I'm not buying any of this from the family. Now this is the correct user. This is Constant Sun 2154. This is the second update, and I'm going to go into why this is not done yet. Now, here OP decides to go low contact with the sperm donor. Very understandable, and I would have done the same. And mom, aka egg donor, wants nothing to do with OP now because if OP wasn't going to respect the family, there's no point to try to get to you. Which is actually what OP wanted. Now, a relative, a cousin, and the sibling of the ex have been on OP's side in this. So OP is gaining support. So we're talking about the sister having meltdown after meltdown because people are finding out and are having their 2 cents on the matter. So basically, it looks like the sister and the cousin got into it, their own argument. It's like the sister's asking the cousin to ask OP to take down the post because she's still sorry, but I'm like, and she felt pressured. I don't necessarily buy it. Now, it turns out we do have slightly new information tied to the ex. So it turns out that the ex does want OP to take down the post as well. In addition, the ex wants to let me read this real quick because I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So turns out ex is not ready for a kid. He doesn't feel comfortable with leaving the sibling on her own tied to the pregnancy. But OP feels that ex and the sister are made for each other. Now, oddly enough, the OP here is starting to feel a little bit better. And she refers to the new sister with the sister of her ex, as well as the cousin, so that's the sort of thing. So there's a tiny part of OP that feels bad about this whole mess, but it comes down to their actions that caused this mess to happen in the first place. So we do know that this particular user got their account suspended, so It's just a matter if they come out with any further updates. So we're going to go into a few posts here, as well as, and by that, comments, all that jazz. So everybody's saying leave the post up, you know, that way, that sort of thing. Here's the thing. This particular story is on Marky's YouTube channel. Now, you may see a comment from me with the link, so if that's your cup of tea, so to speak. So, according to OP, in this particular reply, I'm kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, this is going to get more interesting. Meaning that it looks like the sister's friends are probably going to be finding this out pretty soon. And it's probably going to open up an additional can of worms or 3. So they're going to be pestering her with questions, that sort of thing, because something tells me that this type of behavior may not have been the first time. We'll see. Now, this is pretty much another comment here. Just read this, pause it, that sort of thing. So basically, it's just like, just kind of saying, hey, sister, you're sorry you got caught. You're not sorry for what you did. And basically, OP replies to that with this. I have said this, my cousin has said this, and my ex's sister has also said this, that she can't be upset for the truth being exposed. She doesn't see past her delusion. She's clearly more worried about her reputation than my feelings. She has the nerve to make herself sick, crying about her life being ruined. My dad told me she's sick and crying all the time to get me to take down all the posts when she ruined mine. I really don't know her anymore. Now, this gives out a hint for future updates. And I'm going to get into that later on. And then this particular comment, I'm going to put a thumbs up on this because it's brilliantly worded and to the point. Imagine she shows up to a function with friends and they're like, what are you doing with your sisters, man? And that's the rolling on the floor emoji. And I'm like, I agree with it. The OP replies to that and says, my cousin and sister, my brand new one, lol, were joking about that yesterday. Now, varying comments, you know, it has a sentiment which I agree with. Oh, well, don't fuck around if you don't want to find out. Sucks to be her. So they're doing the FAFO sort of thing with their comments. Now, this particular comment I like. It says, I can't understand how your sister's trying to paint you as the mean one and banking on about how she's a great sister. What a great sister she was. She's delulu. So it's pretty much F you, and F you. And it says here, Dad, give your effing head a shake. That's the shake of shame, my friend. Missy F and G, that's the shake of shame. And this is my comment with the link to Marky's video. So I just said Marky has the entire story on YouTube and that last update included. So it's like F this person, F that person, F so-and-so, da-da-da-da. Now, I'm going to go into what I think about this particular, yeah, my nose is kind of itchy, so forgive me. So, what do I think about this particular, story? Like I said, this is not done yet. Now, the reason why this story is not done is because some of the replies from OP and this particular update here, it's like, there's more information waiting to be uncovered about the sister, about the mom, and about the dad. Now, one thing I won't be surprised about at all is if in a future update, the parents wind up splitting up, because it's revealing varying items as we speak. One, we have a clear favorite from the mother's side at least, and that's the older sister being the golden child. which is probably something that will have to be addressed at some point. 2, the parents. Because the mother clearly favors the oldest over the younger daughter, are we seeing potential patterns? Being a homewrecker. Because we don't know where the sister got that behavior from. And if mother's defending the older daughter, the signs may be leading towards the mother where the older sister learned that behavior from. Now, another thing with the family, number 3, is that the sperm owner needs to grow both a pair and a spine, because he's being walked all over. He needs to be able to stand up for himself in this sort of situation, because it's like the more he allows the egg donor and the golden child older sister to walk all over him, it's just like he's not going to be seen in a favorable light. And something tells me that OP may need to go no contact with the sperm donor as well. Not low contact, no contact at all. Now that's number 3. Number 4 is about the pregnancy. If the sister is making herself sick by crying about it, is she trying to miscarry on purpose? Because that is revolting in itself, and by revolting, disgusting. I mean, you made your bed, now lie in it. And the sister, you really screwed up by opening up your legs to somebody who was clearly taken. Now, another item to go into involves the sister's friends. If they're asking her all those questions, does she have a pattern of ruining other people's relationships? Because if she ruined the OP's relationship with the ex-fiance, were there others that the sister ruined? And why no one's really seen to hold the sister accountable for all this? Because if it's a pattern where the sister is a serial homewrecker, I think it's more like the sister's going to be losing a lot more people than just her family. So some people are thinking like the sister won. No. I think the opposite's going to happen. It's like she will lose everything because it's like everybody's talking about it on the web, blah, blah, blah. And it's now not just on the web, it's also on YouTube. And when Connor from Marketing Industries covers this at some point, I say why, because, that's just how some of us are. It's just like, it's not a matter of if every time, sometimes it's a matter of when, and this story is a matter of when. So, Connor from Marketing Industries, he's probably going to have a bit of a field day on this, but the one person who I know is going to rep the ex and the sister and the egg donor and even the sperm donor, he's going to rep them all a new asshole, and I am waiting for Market Narrations to cover this, because he's going to have such a field day on this. And out of the 3 content creators who does Reddit stories, I love Mark Narration the most because it's like he's the most fair. But he's like, I know he's going to be ripping them all a new asshole. So there's just so much more to uncover. And for the fact that the sister chose to open her legs to make sure she gets impregnated by somebody else's fiance, it's just like it opens up a lot of worms. Meaning that this is a pattern from the sister to ruin relationships of other people. And the sister's like, kind of like, hey, you need to stop. That's one potential can. Second potential can of worms is the golden child, which means more of the family stuff that needs to be like, yeah, you can't be playing favorites. That's number 2. Number 3 would be the pattern. Where did the sister learn this cheating behavior from? To say it's okay to ruin lives. Because if it's from the mother who's clearly defending the sister, then yeah, the dad needs to grow a pair and a spine. So once I come back, it's gonna be a completely separate recording session. And I'll be in with the other story. I am back, and I'm going to go over this second story. This is another one from the Best of Redditor, Best of Redditor updates. So pretty much just the entire story name. So basically, OP is a 31-year-old female, like from the start of the story. So the year has passed, so she's 32. Buddy is about 33. The significant other being 35. So it's a bit of pretty much a he said, she said. And there's an app where it's called Signal. It's a private messaging app, similar to varying other apps with this specific feature. So we're just going to jump right into the TLDR version. So the original post where it's like, OP is sick with the flu, needed to take some medicine, and was unable to pick up the drunken buddy. So Nate, the significant other, was asked to get her instead. So the following days after this, it's like a bit of like, Nate is acting weird. A bunch of he said, she said, somebody is lying. We simply do not know who at this point. So on and so forth. So this is where Signals was hinted at it. And then this is from OP's understanding. It's like the messages are deleted like within a day. That sort of thing. So the significant other gets asked about it. Again, this is where this a bit of a he said, she said. And I was mentioning about a proposal. I mean, it's a really wild case of he said, she said, because Nate was mentioning about proposing to OP. The buddy was mentioning about Nate and the buddy hooked up. So that sort of thing. So we simply don't know at this point who's lying. Now here's a relevant comment where I think some people should have been paying more closer attention to. Does it automatically delete messages unless you turn that feature on? So it sounds like he may have turned on a specific feature. So, a thing that kind of makes me thinking a little bit here, because I had to go quiet intentionally so that you guys get to see what's being said, is that Becca, the buddy, was brought up a really good point. It's like, if you've been with a significant other for 7 years, been hinting at marriage, but like not really even engaged, it's like there are people who refuse to get married at all, but there are some who do. So it's a bit of like some degree of incompatibility being showing case here for some time. Again, that's just me. Now, this is where the very first update here is where I'm starting to question Nate somewhat. So Nate was like, "Hey, let's use your phone," and I'm like. And I'm like, you're making her do your work for you when you can easily Google the solution yourself? I mean, Google or Microsoft Bing or Yahoo search. I mean, you have 3 search engines and you can't do it yourself. You expect somebody like OP to do your work for you? I mean, what gives? And this is where I'm focusing my angle on, is because if you expect somebody to show you when there are a plethora of ways to look it up yourself, it's like, it makes me rather suspicious. And not the way that you think it is. Because it's saying, Becca is lying or whatever, but you may be hiding some stuff yourself, and it's not just a proposal. And this right here has me questioning the buddy even more, though. You can hear Sandy meowing. Now, regarding in this particular text message, it kind of like brings up certain issues where it's like, I can't help but wonder, it's like, yeah. So, now here in this particular newer update, OP and Nate do split up because of an incident involving the buddy. And this is where I was saying here in my little edit. So, I put an edit ad. So, anyone who is innocent have nothing to hide. Nate's actions contradict this. In addition, Nate was the one who, in the first updates, who not only look up chooses not to look up the means to insert search engine of choice, but expected OP to do the work for him. So this is pretty much why I said in my edit. Because you're talking about, if you're hiding something, it's a lie via omission. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I said in a reply. Because it's like, there's certain things that people tend to gloss over. It's like, and I'm like, again, I'm one of those people, I am wrapping my head around this all together, because you're talking about a buddy who's been known to lie, who has issues like with like sparing emotions along with her drinking. But Nate has some issues of his own, because it's like, if you expect your partner to do work that you're easily able to do yourself with your own device, it's like, it doesn't make you as reliable as you think you are. So when it comes down to this whole thing here, the title of this particular story, I think that both the buddy and the now ex-partner are lying. The reason why I think both of them are lying is because it's like, we know that the buddy has a pattern of this. But you're talking about a partner, or in this case, a now ex-partner, expecting the other person to do work that they are able to do for them. It's like, you don't want to put too much onto one person. If you have a certain app, you have questions on certain features, you can look it up yourself. For me, when it comes to building my computers, it's like, there are things like I have questions about, I look it up. It's like, there's Google, there's Bing, there's Yahoo, there's various search engines out there where it's like, if you have questions, look it up. You have the web in the palm of your hands. When it comes to certain features like stuff on Signal, I was about to have a sneeze there. When it comes to things like features for Signal or Reddit or Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or insert whatever app, there are people who have posted questions about this which they've gotten answers to. Meaning that Nate could have looked this up himself. He just chose not to. And the fact that OP was able to get a direction going to get to the answers, it's like Nate's not that reliable. So it's like, I don't believe Nate fully, and I also don't believe the buddy. So OP lost two people because neither of them wanted to come clean. So in all of this, we will never know what will happen to, like, what really happened that day. With that being said, I don't think the story is over with yet. Now, the reason why I don't think the story is over with quite yet is because the whole thing with Becca and Nate. Did she do this so-called hookup to get her friend back or to get with Nate? Because if you look at a text from a friend saying that certain person's always choosing their significant other over their friends, like potential isolation, just like, we simply don't know. And who knows, there is a possibility that Nate really did hook up with Becca and was more clever in hiding that from OP. We simply don't know. We may never know. But the whole thing with Becca and Nate in this particular story, it's like, all in all, again, we probably will never know what truly happened. And some people are defending Nate, but it's like, yeah, look at certain pieces of information that will make people want to question him. You know, that we have a significant other who wanted the original poster to do certain work for him when there's tools available for the partner to do that himself. And regarding the changing the device, was Nate going to pay for that? Because if he wasn't, that's another issue against Nate. Because you're talking about somebody who's expecting others to do the work that he's able to do himself. And I'm not sorry for what I'm about to say it here, but Nate is not innocent here. For the fact that he expected OP to do some of the work for him, and that work being major, it's like, you have things available to you. Why are you making somebody else do it for you? Because there's a saying, if you want something so bad, you do it yourself. And for OP to get information, valuable information, because, like, the way she did is because she asked. She didn't assume. She asked. And then you have Nate, who was telling her what to do. He didn't ask her about that. He was saying, hey, show me. I'm like, you have your own phone. You're not using mine, dude. Come on. So, to recap, so basically with this particular story, OP becomes single. I mean, it's a bit of a no-win situation. I think both Becca and Nate are lying in their own ways. And honestly, to end this, we will never know what really happened that day. But I do wish OP the best of luck in all of her future endeavors. And I do think she does deserve better than Nate, because it's like, it's a genuine no-win situation. It was a he said, she said. I feel Nate has been lying to some extent. And, it's just really sad altogether. And I'm going to end it right now here. With Wolvie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.